Welcome to the Hemlock State Explorer. Today we're exploring St. Peter's Village in Chester County, Pennsylvania. This is an area replete with history, particularly industrial history. There's many mines here. I believe the village started in 1845 with iron mines, supplying iron to iron ore to places like the nearby Hopewell Furnace. And then in the 1880s, granite mining was done here up until I believe the 1970s. There are many trails through here, so I'm looking forward to a fun time exploring. Here's Mine Run to our right. Trails all through. Let's go up and cross over here. What I want to draw your attention to right off the bat is this piece of split granite, a testimony of the industry that was here. But we'll cross the stream up here. It looks like you could actually walk all the way up it on top of the boulders. But thanks for joining us today. I think we are in for some good times. From the parking area, we crossed the initial bridge over French Creek and then followed French Creek upstream to the north and encountered this dilapidated railroad bridge. Looks very cool. You used to be able to walk across it, but now there's a fence at the top with no trespassing signs, so we'll avoid that. But I just wanted to show you how cool this is. Here's a view downstream. So the water is deeper and slower moving up here because you can't see it here, but off in the distance there's the remains of an old dam. But we'll head back up this trail. Another thing to be careful of is this place is loaded, absolutely loaded with poison ivy. So we'll head up the trail. We'll take the old rail bed back into the interior of St. Peter's Village. We've been walking on the old rail bed. I'm going to turn around and you can see that. There's the old rail bed behind us. But I just want to show you how rocky it is here at Mine Run. This would be a fun place to take the kids and just play on these rocks. Let's go down to the run and get a view from down here. So while we're headed here, I'd like to take a moment to ask you to please like, subscribe, and share. The more support we can get, the more we can do this sort of thing. We really love getting out and adventuring and exploring. So if you enjoy it too, please like, subscribe, and share. And check out all of our adventures at hemlockstateexplorer.com. So heading up from Mine Run, the trail itself gets very rocky as well. I see up to the left a dirt path. We'll cross over and take that. Here we are. Another tip, this area back in the woods is completely covered with poison ivy. There you can see our friend right there. So it's a hot summer day. You can hear the cicadas singing, so I wore shorts, but in hindsight, I would have opted for long pants. I'm just focusing there because you can hear the stream. Check this out, this is really cool. The stream here goes underground, literally. You can hear it gurgling. So the stream must go underneath all these rocks and then meet up with the main branch of Mine Run to our right. This is really cool. So we're actually standing on top of the stream right now. It's traveling underneath of us. There it is. Very cool. All right, let's continue on our journey up this old rail bed. And there's just so much to see here. I didn't get it on video, but there's been multiple side trails and it would just take a long time to explore them. That would be a lot of fun. But for now, we'll take this trail and see how many of these trails we can hit. Let me back up. Here's some concrete ruins of something. Cardinal flower for some nice color. But check this out too. Remains of an old pipe, and I don't know if this would have been a dam at one time. The stones are clearly lined up. But let's take that trail. Just so many trails. That's where we just came from. All right, onward. We took a side trail through the poison ivy gauntlet on either side and encountered these ruins. Don't know what they would have been. A bridge maybe? Let's go take a closer look. Avoiding the poison ivy, of course. Shouldn't call it our friend. It's more like our constant companion in southeastern Pennsylvania. So what do you think? You folks who know more about this sort of thing than I do, maybe some historians or structural engineers, put in the comments what you think this might be. Get a view of it from back here. Yeah, here it is. And here's its little sister over here. That was an interesting find. Let's go back to the path. And I saw on the map that there are some bodies of water, ponds to the right, it looks like, which is probably the remains of quarries. All right, we'll see you there. Okay, so we may have solved the mystery of what those stone pillars were, because if you look up ahead, I don't know how well it shows up on the camera, but there's an old grade right there. It looks like a built up stone area, and I imagine it was a bridge that led to these pillars. So my bet is that this is an old bridge. Here's the pillars, and right up on that hillside, don't know how well you can see it on the video, there's that stony earthen built up area. All right, let's continue on dancing around the poison ivy, and we'll see if we can find some remains of quarries up ahead. All right, we made it to the water, and it is indeed an old quarry. You can see cliffs on the other side. We'll pan down the quarry. It's pretty overgrown. It's hard to see much of anything. It would be interesting to come back here in the winter time. Try to get a better picture of the cliffs. Yeah, and a mosquito just landed on my finger. Heard a number of frogs jump in as we approached. But anyway, there it is, the quarry. Yeah, it would be cool to come back here in the winter, and the poison ivy dodging is, I could do without that. But anyway, here's the quarry. Let's continue on our journey and see if we can find anything else. We're at the top of the cliffs of the old abandoned quarry. There was a trail leading here. It was pretty easy. But here's what it looks like from the top of the cliffs. Better view from up here. And you can see the cliffs to our left. All right, let's continue. Something just jumped in. Oh, you know what? Wow, you can't see it from here. I don't think there's any way I can get... Yeah, you see that? Maybe I can get in there. Yeah, some turtles. Very cool. I thought the water looked nasty, but they seem perfectly happy. Well, that was a pleasant surprise. All right, with that, let's continue on our journey. Well, here's another old railroad bridge across Mine Run this time. And this one we can cross, so I'll bring you along with me. The wood feels entirely rotten. Very soft wood I'm walking on. There's Mine Run. Not the nicest looking water I've ever seen. There's another view. Let's go down here and see if we can get a view of the railroad bridge. It would have been amazing to see what this looked like back in the day. I imagine these woods were not here. It would have certainly been clear cut. If not for the mining activity, certainly for the charcoal to operate Hopewell Furnace and Joanna Furnace and others in the area. But there's the old railroad bridge. We're on the horseshoe trail as indicated by the yellow blaze on the tree, and I wanted to share this interesting historical note with you. So you see this big boulder here with the holes and the crack. Well, this is how they used to split rocks before the days of power saws. So if you have an opportunity, check this out online. You can see people doing this. They would take metal chisel-like rods and just pound them into the rock in succession, and as the rods drove deeper, it would cause fractures along the cleavage lines, and you would get split rock like this. Very cool old technology. All right, let's continue on, shall we? We're at the top of the hill of the St. Peter's Village hiking section, and just want to show you, we found a quarry. There's several up here. This is a smaller pit quarry where they would have quarried the stone. But anyway, just wanted to show you that. The shadows are starting to get long. It's not that late, but just being in the underneath this canopy makes it look darker. So we'll head back down the hill towards St. Peter's Village. Just want to show you here actually a bunch of stones that have been cut. Small cubic stones, or cubic rectangular stones. Interesting. At any rate, we'll head back down the hill and see some rock formations, and then take a look at the historic St. Peter's Village. We are near the top of the hill, and there are many quarry pits, in fact much larger than the one we saw before. And here's an interesting formation. It looks like steps have been carved out of the rock, no doubt for the purposes of quarrying. And right before us is one of the most popular aspects of St. Peter's Village, a rock formation known as Mushroom Rock. There's a lot of rocks around this one. Let's get up on top of these rocks and get a good picture of Mushroom Rock. We took a circuitous route up here, but you can get up here by a trail directly from the parking lot. Lots of graffiti, unfortunately. So there it is. You can see why they call it Mushroom Rock. It's a popular hangout spot. I've been up here most of the times I've been up here. There have been people hanging out on top of it. There you go, Mushroom Rock. Let's go get on top of that. Here's the view from on top of Mushroom Rock. We see rocks sticking out of the ground all around us. Lots of graffiti. And then some rock formations back that way. So we're looking uphill right now, and that's where a lot of the quarrying was done. And then turning back around downhill, the direction of the parking lot. Nice. Well, let's see what else there is to offer. We still have the town to explore yet, and we have French Creek. Let's get going. Here's an interesting feature to our left. A big pile of granite that was quarried and looks like it was split and then just left to sit here. Some unfinished work. We are coming down the hill from the Mushroom Rock area, and as you can see, this area has been quarried, and there's some really cool cliffs right here. So this will give us a view of the area down below. Yeah, I think people are swimming down there. Let's go take a look, but here's what we're standing on. That's the area we came from. Let's walk along this cliff ledge and work our way down to the water. We saw many quarries. Actually, you can see some right there. Many pit quarries. That one we looked at earlier was just a small one off in the woods. But you can see a pit quarry right here. Just dug right out of the side of the hill. And then even down to our right. You can hear the water as we're getting closer. Maybe this way will lead us down to the bottom of those cliffs so we can take a look where we were just standing. Wow, lots of activity down there. Alright, looks like a walkway here. Oh, cool. Let's go take a look at these cliffs where we were just standing. And we were just standing on top of that rock. Okay, let's work our way down to the water. All throughout the woods of St. Peter's Village, we find these big flat slabs of cut stone. Actually, not just flat slabs, but all shapes and sizes of cut stone. And look up there, there's a hillside just full of it. Yeah, you can see the marks where the spikes were driven into the rock to split. Here's some more up here. And it's just all up that hillside. It's like work just stopped and all this stuff was dumped here. Fascinating. Well, French Creek is calling, so let's head on down. Well, here's where all the activity was. Here's a fun swimming hole, complete with a rope swing. We are just below the swimming hole looking downstream, and it's hard to hear as a combination of some motorcycles up above and the water. But I'm going to pan upstream and you'll see why this is so popular. This is just a boulder paradise begging to be climbed. And yes, the stream passes underneath these boulders. Let me zoom out, give you a better view. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Well, let's get climbing. There aren't any waterfalls here at St. Peter's Village, but this is the closest thing to it. If you see, there's, let me zoom out, a rock shelf right next to it. And then looking upstream, here's some fast-moving cascades. It's interesting how that rock is slightly concave and curved at the bottom. But let's take a walk up this. French Creek is just filled with boulders upon boulders. You could spend all day here. This is a less bouldery part, or at least the boulders are smaller, but you really could just spend all day here rock hopping. And there, that just looks like a bunch of cut stone dumped from the road up there along the side of French Creek. So you remember when ninja courses used to be popular? Well, this is it. Check this out. Man, so if the kids need to burn off some energy and you want to go rock hopping with them, this is the place. It's a natural obstacle course. And here's what it looks like up on dry land. And then over there's the stream. Let's navigate some of these boulders. Yeah, there's the stream. Let's take a closer look. This is so much fun. What an obstacle course, huh? So this would be ultimate floor is lava for the kids. Look at those boulders. Just be careful of the wetness. Those are slippery. Looks like an old retaining wall in a trendy purple painted house. There's some folks back there swinging from the rope swing. So, are you tempted yet? Are you gonna come out to St. Peter's Village? What fun. All right, let's go check out the town proper. This must be the finish line. There, we won. We're back up out of French Creek and walking down the main street of St. Peter's Village. There's an arcade. The swing. What's this? Hard cider. I think there's a restaurant up ahead. Apothecary. So they have these painted up and the houses or businesses done up nicely. There's a small house there. Trying to look hip and cute, artsy. Here's some more nicely done up buildings. Reminds me slightly of Mount Gretna, although that's more residential. I think these are all businesses, antiques, a bakery. There's French Creek down that way, you can hear it. So this inn up here, I believe this was built in 1880, and the owner of the quarry wanted to make this something of a vacation spot, an attraction. Creekside Collection, another art shop. Yeah, the inn at St. Peter's Village. Yeah, there's the inn at St. Peter's Village, built in 1880. And I apologize for the sun glare, and that's the main street of St. Peter's Village. Honestly, doesn't look like a whole lot to it. A little disappointed. I thought there would be more to it, but that's an interesting building at any rate. Maybe it's just me. If you're into antiques and cute, hip things like arcades, then maybe you would find more interest in this sort of thing than I do. But for your consideration, there it is. Let's take these steps up here. I think there's another quarry at the top. We're just up the hill from the inn, and here's another quarry. It's fenced off completely. Get a pretty clear indication you're not supposed to be inside of there. You can't see it in the video, but right at the top of that quarry is the armature still. Of course, the graffiti indicates that some folks get in there, but we're not going to. Well, we are back where we started. We went a little further down the village proper, and there were some more shops, some art studios, and antiques up the hill as well, but really nothing I was too interested in. But here's where we started. St. Peter's Village was a lot of fun. It was interesting to see the old quarried stone and some of the ruins. One of the main attractions are the boulders and the swimming hole, and Mushroom Rock, although it was covered in graffiti, was still worth the visit. So some tips if you visit St. Peter's Village. One, it is very popular, so expect company. We saw lots of young families and kids out here. This is a nice place for kids to come play on the rocks, but just be very careful. Poison ivy is all over the place. It's anywhere off the trail, it's growing into the trail, it's growing up around and through the rocks, so you're bound to encounter it. Just be careful. Unfortunately, there's also lots of graffiti and lots of trash, which detracts from the pleasantness of the place, but it's still worth the visit. There's a whole network of trails. We only saw a fraction of them. We went up the hill and then came back down along French Creek. If you want to go directly up to Mushroom Rock or directly to the swimming area and the boulder area, you don't have to take the long route we did. There are trails right to that. So thanks for joining us today. Please like, subscribe, and share. Check out our other adventures on this YouTube channel and see the full adventure at St. Peter's Village and all of our other adventures at HemlockStateExplorer.com.